strongest stream possible.
You
To all
are.
our fans all across the world.
We should
Even in.
be live. Yep, it says live. We are live. Welcome, 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 welcome. Another week in the Fantasy OO podcast. Woo! Weekend. What a weekend. A lot of action. A lot of action.
Yeah, there's some good predictions. There were some good goals, some bad defense, some decent defense. There was a real mixed bag. We're all going to cover it today. As you can see, I'm wearing my Real Sociedad jersey. They won in the cup yesterday. 2-1. Had to bag one late in the 96th minute, I believe. To move on, but our friend Jesus, I'm sure, was smiling ear to ear in his home in San Sebastian, Spain. Old friend, for those of you who don't know, 85-year-old man sat next to him at the stadium. If there's a good result, I him on WhatsApp. See,
You didn't text him after the big win?
I texted him, just sent him a hey.
No response?
Sometimes he gets back, sometimes he doesn't. He might have been
Good, good. All right. We
he
should,
might have been asleep.
we
You
should
never.
send him the link to the pod.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, like you mentioned, let's jump into it. You mentioned some good predictions, also some bad predictions. Hand up me if you tailed my Saka and Anthony Gordon goal scoring picks, you were a double loser, and if you parlayed them both like I did, you were a triple loser. You, on the other hand, you did your thing. Ekatike scored the goal. He scored in the first minute. That thing was over after 1 minute. You scored that one, and then Sunderland with the Derby win, they won 1-0. Sunderland continuing, I'd say, to punch above their weight, continuing to play. The Stadium of Light is a fortress. They didn't even recognize Newcastle's presence. They just called them visitors. Just
Yeah. That's
unbelievable stuff.
so good. Like that's the stuff that you want in the modern game is like actually because I heard somebody's talking about this. There aren't too many like meaningful derbies anymore where there's actual real tension, real like disdain for one another. And I don't think this game had been played in like 20 years. And this still has that. And the level of spite they're willing to go to is just be like visitor. They're not even gonna put your name up on the scoreboard. Like I can appreciate that. That's you need that. You need a little bite. You need a little obviously not in a toxic way, but
Yeah.
it's good to have those rivalries to get that level of in a long slog of a season. You need some things. You need some tent pole moments to really get the heart rate up a little bit. So yeah, it was good for Sunderland. Back to my other prediction too. I was like I just nailed it. Not watching Spurs as a Spurs fan because they stink. And I got that right. 3-0, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Pathetic goals they conceded. Just nailed it. I'm not watching them. I'm a Spurs fan. Not gonna watch them. I'm watching the Derby and perfect.
Nice. Look, some weeks, 2 weeks ago, I nailed mine. Last week, not so much. 2 weeks ago, you came up short. This week, boom, 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 nailed yours. So, 1 week we're both gonna come together. We're both gonna nail all of our predictions, and we're gonna make it rain dollar bills in the air on
All
DraftKings.
coming.
It's
It's a
coming.
it's a groundswell.
Exactly.
It's we build. People
Exactly.
take notice before you know it. It's just there.
Yep. Yep.
People are hitting us up. Hey, what do we do? What do we want? I saw your prediction back in game week 16, and you were spot on. What can I do?
Yeah.
That's what you
100.
get from us. It's not again, this podcast, not just about players to pick or XG or fixture lists. It's some of that. There's going to be some of it, but it's more the other aspects
Yeah.
of,
Look,
uh,
we're
of the
gonna
greater
talk.
game.
It's banter. We're going to talk a little bit about our league every week. We're going to talk about who did well, who didn't do well. We're going to find a couple stats that we find interesting for the year that are relevant for the fantasy. We're going to talk badly about Manchester United, even though lately they've kind of been making us eat a bit of a shit burger because they've been winning. We are going to call teams out when they're not performing well. We're going to hype up teams doing well. We're going to talk about the U.S. men's national team. Just a lot of, it's everything. It's everything.
Yeah, all there, all ready to go.
And speaking
Everything
of,
you could want in
yeah,
one cohesive soccer, aka football.
yeah, I guess we can't call it soccer anymore, and we can't call football American football anymore. If you're talking about Trump, because this is the real football. We have to respect the
Now,
president.
finally, the guy's got a platform that I can get behind. He goes off so many tangents, and then you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
He's on. He could if he could make some change on that aspect, I'm all for it. That would be
lot,
so wild. The
lot of.
NFL all of a sudden has to change everything about logo, branding, you name it.
He did it with the Gulf of America. So a lot of people, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Uh, Talking about our league, we'll not talk about the president. The table. There was a little bit of movement in the top five, including some separation at the top. Mr. Mintz is just on fire. A 98-point week. He now has a 53-point lead, 1,027 overall points, about 16,500 in the total.
Yeah.
He's doing big things. He was both manager of the week with 98. He had the best transfer week. So manager of the week overall, manager of the week from a transfer perspective with net plus 22. He brought in Saka, Wilson, Hincape, and Thiago. Wilson was plus 13 for him, Saka plus 5, and Hincape plus 4. He also captained Saka, got double clean sheets from his Chelsea defense, 11 from Foden, 13 from Bruno. Congrats, Mints, you're on fire. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched that Fulham game live, and watching those assists go in to start, I'm just like, God damn it! And then,
The goal.
of course, he probably could have had another assist and another goal as well. Like 16 points was the bare minimum that Wilson was going to pull home in
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah. He was.
That's what it's all about. Look, if you look back and if you win the title, Wilson might not do anything for the rest of the season, but if you get that one game week when somebody hits, it's the greatest feeling ever. And
Yeah, Evan.
Alaba, one day I'll just decide to pick up the guy because we talk about him every single week, and every single week the guy gets 9 points, and I don't.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. The thing about Wilson, I looked him up. His last 4 games, I think he's gotten 8, 8, 10, and now 16. So he's been. It's Fulham. Like I feel like no one really pays attention to them. I had Anderson on my team, but I just looked to see if they keep a clean sheet and how many DEFCONs he's got. But a completely whiffed on Wilson. I brought in Marino, who didn't even start for Arsenal this week, and yeah, it's just bad managing. I should have, Wilson was a target I should have been looking at because he was performing.
It's one of those deals where you're just kind of like, have I missed the boat? Am I too late on that guy? And will he keep up this crazy pace? And then sometimes you pick him up and they do bubkus,
Yeah.
and sometimes they bang you for 16.
Yeah.
And you go, damn.
Yep. 100%.
16,000th in the world is an insane
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, and
It's insane.
it's no longer like James Varys, who well, we'll get more into him in a little bit. He was up in like near the top 5, 6,000 in the world. That was so early in the season, right? Like we're almost halfway through the season, and Mintz is in really, really impressive territory. Well, see, he has used up all his chips for the first half. So over the next couple weeks, I think as the first half of the season concludes and people in the world use up the rest of their chips, we'll see where the water levels to for him. But very, very impressive stuff from him.
Yeah. It's we knew the James ship was going to run aground at some point. He's still good for the odd weird move that banks a lot of points, but again, over time, only so long you can ride that train.
Yeah,
and keep hitting.
Speaking a bit about that, we had a new second place person in the league. So Sam Snead, 75 points, vaulting past James into second place. He also captained Saka and got also 11 from Foden and 13 from Bruno. He, like I said, he's 53 points behind Mintz. He is 8 points now ahead of Varus, who, after a tough 62-point week, has fallen into third place and sinking a little bit like the Titanic compared to where he was. I think he had like a 50 or 60-point lead at one point. He's now 61 points behind Mintz. So um, again, I still don't think he's used a single chip. I don't think he realizes he has to use his chips before the halfway point of the season. Um, tough luck not reading the rules or paying attention. So,
Yeah, and don't expect us to nudge you to do it either,
yeah,
pal. You
yeah.
know, you're a big
Maybe,
boy.
maybe if it was the end of the season and he was like very close to Mintz and I didn't want Mintz to win the league, I might be like, hey, James, you should use your chips. Not right now. Neil stayed in fourth place, 74 points, 958 overall. Not much to say. Solid week. I think he had all the same players. I think he might have captained Holland, but then he also had Foden and Bruno. Tough week for me. 59 points. I was almost bum of the week. Only 3 points ahead of, or 3 points behind James, so he almost was bum of the week as well. I also had negative net two in transfers, 942 points overall, so about 83 behind Mintz. We're going to throw the tape from this week away and start fresh this week. Yeah, 3 weeks left. We're going to use a chip this week, and hopefully we can climb a little bit because we need it. We need it. Um, Bowman maintains sixth place. He is only 1 point behind me for fifth, so he's directly nipping at my heels. That kind of is the top. That's the summary from the top of the table. The bum of the week. I mentioned how many points he had. It's 58, but it's Mark Milady. He is just, I mean, we say James has been sinking. Milady has fallen off a cliff. He was second place early in the season behind James. He is now all the way down in 10th place. So like a rough like 4 to 6 weeks for Milady. Went from contending for the league title, in the money, in Champions League. Now he's gonna have to fight behind you right now in 10th place and sinking. I mean, it's not good from the former USF goalkeeper.
Yeah, look, when you've got Voltamata on your team still, who's scoring own goals,
Yeah.
and you've got, when Gahey doesn't get a goal and an assist and a shutout, or Drewsbury Hall goes for 97 points in a game, it's hard to get points. So
Yeah.
it made me happier to dump Voltamata and then watch him score an own goal, and I was like, yes, that's why you get rid of the guy.
That's actually the other more amazing thing about Mintz's team. He scored 98 points, and Voltamad is still on his team and got a donut. Like, if Voltamad doesn't score an own goal, he hits the Century Club. So that's enough talking about Mintz. Uh, the other,
Wilson.
yeah, yeah, the other bum of the week was Cam Kolovos. He's the transfer bum of the week. A net -4 across the 5 transfers that he made. 3 of the 5 transfers lost him points, including Virgil. He went Virgil to Timber for a -4. Cam did bench boost, and he did score 75 points for the week, and Green arrowed his way out of the relegation zone. So he is up into 16th place despite making some bad transfers. Speaking of the relegation zone, we've got Dwyer, Bergs, and Vito. Vito's in dead last with 825 points. Dwyer and Bergs both on 844. Andy Almquist is just outside of the relegation zone with 846, and Cam, as I mentioned, 848, only 4 clear.
You forget the relegation
Oh,
zone
it's
is 4
4.
teams.
Oh, okay. So then
Andy firmly
Andy's
in it.
firmly in the relegation zone.
Oh yeah.
Intriguing battle at the back there between Dwyer, Bergs, Andy, and Cam. As we're nearing the halfway point of the season, there's no true wolves here. as Vito still has plenty of time. He's not like so far back that he can't work his way up. So still time for Vito to emerge. But those four teams kind of fighting for the last, not to be one of the last three. We'll see how it shakes out. But we're almost halfway, so I figure you might as well start talking about relegation in our league.
Absolutely. And for those of you, you have to pay extra money
Yeah.
for the pot.
And that goes to the winner of our Champions League head-to-head battle, which I don't
Exactly.
have the standings in front of me, but we'll add that game week 19. We're going to start talking about what that looks like, so you can be informed. And I know you're all
Yeah.
dying. You're dying to know. You're dying to know.
You could have a great week like I did with 80 points in the league, and then go up against Mints and get blown out and lose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
The thing is, though, like for the most part, I think we've been doing Champions League for like 6-ish years, about maybe 7 years, and I feel like most of the time it ends up being like the top four teams that make the playoffs are usually at least three of them are like in the top four of the. If you looked at like overall point standings, there's always maybe one team that if you look at like the traditional standings of just straight on points, they might be like sixth out of the 8 teams in Champions League and they sneak into the playoffs just because lucky schedule or whatever. But usually it's like the right teams make the playoffs. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Well, like right now, Glenn Almquist
Yeah.
he's 3 points ahead of me, and he's in second place in the Champions League right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's rode some good some luck of the fixture
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah. 100%. All right. That is going to conclude talking about our league for the week. On a more general fantasy note, one of my favorite segments, the Nestle Crunch Bar Crunch of the Week.
Oh.
Only one crunch this week. I feel like we've been doing a lot of stats lately. We've been kind of keeping up with the fantasy. So, sometimes we take a couple week break and there's some cool stats to pull up. One thing that we never really talk about on this pod is like team value and price changes. So I thought it was interesting to look. Can you name, and I like these games that have just given the answers. Can you name for me, and I'm going to ask you to do two things, the top 5 price risers in the fantasy so far this season and how much they have risen?
Hmm. One of them's got to be Semenyo. Like
Semenyo,
Semenyo.
not a price. He probably was like 3 weeks ago, but he has fallen out of the top price risers.
Really? Okay. So total, like just their total price rise from like original
Yeah, so
price
like,
to
all
like
right, so
where they are now.
yeah, if someone started at like 5.0 and now they're 6.0, they'd be like a rise of 1.0.
Got it. All right. Well, I feel like this dude should have made. I feel like Tiago
Yeah, so
potentially.
Tiago, a plus 1.2. He is your number one price riser on the season.
Damn. Okay. So we got Tiago. I would say, I mean, Foden literally in the last
Yeah,
like 2 game weeks has gone up like 0.6,
yeah,
0.7.
yeah, yeah. He is
Some,
0.8 overall on the season, tied for fourth on the list.
okay. Yeah, that's like an insane clip for what he's done. All right, that's 2 guys. I feel like, let's see who, and like, a lot of the bigs haven't done anything. There's not really a lot of room for them to go. Who has the upside? Not Semenyo. Wow, that's shocking to me. How about a defender then? I mean, it may be like Gahey.
Yeah, he's tied with Foden, 0.8.
Okay.
One of them, I feel like when you think about it now, you're gonna when it comes to when I tell you, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I should have got that one. And then the other one, think I don't think you're gonna get the other one.
Senesi, one of them that's climbed a lot.
He's not.
No.
No, no. The final two are Erling Holland, because if you think about the beginning of the year, a lot of people had Salah, and now everybody's on
Um,
Holland. So he's gone up 1.0. And then the one that I didn't think you'd get that was interesting to me is Timber. Also has gone up 1.0.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Not that much.
yeah. So just interesting. And obviously Holland is the top point scorer in the league. Gahey's one of the top defenders in the league. Can you guess what Bruno's like price change? He's the top scoring midfielder in the league. Can you guess what his total price change or price difference has been this year?
It's either like 0.1 or 0.6. I don't
So
know.
it's 0.3, so a little bit. It's in split the difference, but 0.3, and he's been just absolutely on fire, much to my dismay and peril in the league. As I'm an anti-Bruno guy, never like having him on my team. I've just delayed. I'm not picking him up. He stinks. He stinks, and he doesn't stink in fantasy anymore. He's very good, and now he's on my team. I already
And then he
transferred
just
him in this week.
and then he just came out and said that United wanted him gone or didn't care if he
Yeah,
left over the summer.
yeah,
So it's like the guy comes in, has another great performance.
yeah.
They end up drawing because their defense is
Well,
just
that's yeah,
it's just putrid.
yeah.
And then he comes out and said, like, yeah, they said I could leave, and that bothered me a lot. And I was like, oh wow, they can't get through a minute without some sort of like negativity.
Speaking of them, and I guess, well, no, we'll get back to them. I've got we've got a fun anecdote when we recap their game because we will talk about it. But let's talk about the Prem games this week, and we always go starting from the top of the table. Man, Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. What a horrible match from Arsenal. I mean, they look toothless. Like they only scored on own goals. Like Wolves looked like they were going to equalize, or they did equalize. It looked like they were going to draw. Um, Arsenal won it late. They've kind of been struggling. I mean, they've struggled since they went up 8 points on City, over second place City at the time. They're now only two up, and they just haven't looked good. I know they've had injuries, and probably Gabriel being out really changes that defense a lot, and he's a kind of a stalwart there for them. He's supposed to be coming back relatively soon. I don't know if it's going to be this week or next week, but they have really struggled. Just really bad performance. Like you watched the Man United game against Bournemouth or against Wolves on last Monday, and then you watch Arsenal versus Wolves this weekend, and you would think that Man U's in first place and Arsenal's battling for sixth, seventh, eighth. That was
Yeah,
a
they
really
were
bad
just
performance. I like man. I don't even know.
they
What to,
just
that was
went through the
terrible.
motions. It just
Yeah,
like went through the motions. It's like it's one thing to have injuries on defense and you get that if they're like leaking a lot of goals, but from an attack perspective, they
yeah.
just didn't have anything. And
They,
from a morale side of things, yes, they did get the 3 points, but if you are following the narrative around their fan base, there's growing sentiment on like Arteta is just not the dude. And like obviously they've had a kind of like a mixed run lately. And so that result, yes, they got 3 points, but it felt like a loss to their entire fan base. Like they were so pissed. Like if you see clips of those guys who are like, they're like the gold bridges, like the
yeah.
gold bridge model, right? And now all these teams have a gold bridge.
Shout out
And there's
Goldbridge, the OG. You gotta get
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, exactly. There's always the first guy that
yeah.
like started doing it and blew up. And you follow these other guys, and they're all like streaming like simultaneously, and some of them are absolute morons. Some of them are okay, but like the Arsenal stuff is just they're just so dejected and pissed off,
I,
and I can understand that. As somebody who brought in Eze for a 0.03 net goal contributions or expected goal contributions, was like or goal involvements. How's that? Two, Arteta. There's also potentially a new segment we haven't gotten there yet, but maybe like what grinds my gears,
it's
owns to
coming.
pick.
It's coming. It's
You know,
coming.
it's why are we so protective around the player injuries? Nobody on your team it's so good that if the other team knows that they're available to play, it's going to change their tactics.
Well,
Just let us know who's available. Let us know if Saliba's available. I wouldn't have wasted a transfer on him. Wouldn't have picked up Eze. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. I'll leave it
no,
at that.
we're gonna get into that. We have a new segment. We're still looking for a sponsor. What grinds my gears? So
We get like an
we're
oil lubricate the
exactly, yeah,
gears.
Jiffy Lube or something. You know what grind? You know we're
Castrol.
yeah yeah
Castrol's done some sponsorships in footy in the past.
yeah yeah. So we're gonna get to that, and we're gonna we're gonna go off on that. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, they look toothless in attack. They could not break. They just couldn't break Wolves down. They got lucky. Like Saka almost scored from a corner. I mean, he would have scored from a corner. The goalie kind of made a great play on it, but knocked it against the post, then off his back and in, so it was an own goal. And then he crossed one in. It looked like Jesus scored or Jesus scored, but it was actually another own goal. But they couldn't break them down. Nothing looked easy or good. And then you look last week against Man United. United looked like they were going to score 20 goals. Um, Look, they got the win, so credit to them, but can't like where they're sitting right now. Just the start of the month, or about what 3 4 weeks ago, they're 8 points up. Looks like they're about to cruise to a title, and now you're like, oh, they might not be in first place on Boxing Day or when the New Year rolls around. So
Yeah, Everton away this weekend. That's no pushover right now. Everton, solid side.
yeah,
If you're playing the way they are, not strolling into that game expecting, well, you're expecting 3 points, but you might not get.
yeah, yeah. Man City, speaking of them, they handled their business on the road against Palace. Just a very impressive workmanlike performance. They remain in second place, two behind Arsenal. City 3, Palace 0. 2 goals from Holland, goal from Foden. Seems like Pep has kind of found his preferred 11. Every time, though, I think they kind of like have turned a corner this year. They drop a clunker. So we'll see what they do against the West Ham team that they should absolutely pummel this weekend. Um, it's at home. Like they should absolutely pummel them. West Ham's defense has not been good. But again, there's probably a clunker coming just because that's how it works with Pep these days.
They just got the job done against Brentford,
Yeah,
so and like a solid, 2-0 result there. Rotating players. Cherky scored again. Cherky's starting to really heat up,
he's
and
yeah
he got an assist against
he
Palace. He
did.
just bagged a goal today.
Yeah,
Um,
man, it's hard to keep him off the team, on the fantasy team. But this is also like Pep time with the fixture congestion and rotation. Um, so we'll have to see. But he's on the radar and should be on the radar. Villa
yeah,
3.
I just wish O'Reilly would have stuck a leg out one more time. Sitting on 9 DEFCONs. Ah, the worst. The worst.
Foden was on 11 and then got one after the game ended. Opta gave him one for his DefCon points. That's all. We're gonna pause there because that's gonna also be on what grinds my. That's gonna be feature in the what grinds my gears
Yes.
segment too. Uh, yeah, but anyway, Villa 3, West Ham 2. Villa on the road, toughing out a 3-2 win. 6 wins in a row for Aston Villa. Again, they only beat a struggling West Ham team. Rogers scored a brace. I still don't know what to do with them from a fantasy perspective, but they're fully on fire. I mean, they keep winning. Um, they beat Arsenal last week, so it's not just like, oh, they've won 6 games against bad teams. Like they've beaten, West Ham's not great, but they've beaten decent teams now. We'll see how they keep going. They're only 1 point behind City and 3 behind Arsenal, so they are fully there in the
And
race.
they're finding ways to win too, which
Yeah,
is what you
and
need.
yeah, as I said, they toughed it out. West Ham, not the best team. I said they've been struggling this year, but they've found it also feels like West Ham struggling, and we're talking. It may sound like we're talking out of both sides of our mouths. Like, oh, they only beat West Ham 3-2. Arsenal only beat Wolves 2-1. There is a gulf between West Ham and Wolves. Like
Yeah.
Versus struggling West Ham versus Wolves is a giant gap. Like Wolves are on pace to be the worst Premier League team ever. So we can't equate those two.
Yeah. No. Well, Wolves at home, that should be
5-0.
3-0 minimum.
Yeah.
Like
3-0 halftime, and then maybe you've just like, okay, let's just pass the ball around and not try to score
yes,
again. But if you're trying home, like yeah, no, I just can't. Yeah. Um, Chelsea pop up into fourth. This is just like I don't. Chelsea's another team. I have no idea what to make of them. They're in fourth place. They have 28 points. They beat Everton 2-0. Malo Gusto and Cole Palmer scored for them. Is Palmer fully back? Is this kind of going to ignite the Chelsea offense? Their defense started the season, they couldn't keep a clean sheet to save their lives, and now all they're doing is keeping clean sheets. As soon as Minsk got two of them, they just can't stop. Not like they're a fortress all of a sudden out of nowhere. Um, I got off Sanchez. I mean, Raya's been fine, so I'm not really complaining about that. But this double Chelsea defense getting Minsk double clean sheets every week is pissing me off.
yeah, it's like a minimum like 15
Yeah,
to 17 points
yeah.
from that double banger right there.
They've been playing good defense. They have to win. They're in fourth place. I felt like they've just been playing like this yo-yo game back and forth all season. Like, oh, they have a couple good games, couple bad games, couple good games, couple bad games. You blink, they're in seventh place. Nope, they're in third place. Now they're kind of settling into. They've settled into fourth. 28 points. Crystal Palace, we mentioned them. They lost 3-0 to City. They fall into fifth place. Nothing really to note from this game. There was some news this week that them and Glasner might not be continuing on after this year. They've not been able to work out a contract extension for him. That creates a very interesting opening. Also creates an interesting managerial candidate for teams looking for a new one. They're probably going to lose at least Gahey, possibly in January, if not definitely over the summer. Um, I don't know. I still like West Ham, but we'll see what happens if Glasner leaves.
Yeah, I think that guy has done a pretty incredible job of taking a club that had some things there, but just was kind of like 14th, 15th, kind of staying afloat when Roy Hodgson was there at last. And the guy's come in, he's instituted a way of playing. He's getting a lot out of players. Like he's now, I assume, like he made that big play to keep Gahey
Yeah,
at the start of the season. Is like he either stays or I'm out of here. So he's got a little grit in him, and I think he's probably looking to
yeah,
make a move based on what's out there. With United not being very settled with Amarin, you've got Tottenham that are floundering under Thomas Frank. Maybe he wants to go to a bigger club who's not a selling club, and
yeah.
he's
That
gonna, like you said, he's going to lose Gahey. He's going to lose. They're going to sell other players,
yeah.
so he's probably like, now's my time and my chance to push in my chips and make a move
Yeah,
to a bigger club. So
yeah, he could leave England. I mean, I don't think Liverpool would hire him. It's not like the splash hire that a team like Liverpool would make. I don't think. Um, but uh, I mean, I think Tottenham would be a you know decent at worst landing spot for him, if not a great landing spot for him. Who knows what's going to happen with United? They tied Bournemouth 4-4. It looked like they were going to win that game four different times. They are tied with Palace with 26 points. Bruno continues to shine for United. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they haven't won. They still haven't won 5 games in a row. They're still not going to win 5 games in a row. Poor dude hasn't got a haircut for the entirety of 2025. He's not going to get a haircut because they don't have 5 more games left this year. So he's going to go an entire year without a haircut. Uh, how long is that going to go? It seems like this is another team. It's like, oh, did they just turn a corner and they drop like they tie Bournemouth 4-4 when they should have again won the game 4 different times. So um, I don't know what they're gonna do with Amarim. So who knows?
you score 4 goals at home, you better be getting a win.
Yeah,
Like, and I don't think Bournemouth have necessarily been lighting up
they've fallen off.
they
Yeah,
bageled the previous game, bageled the last 2 games, scored 2 against Sunderland, but like Bournemouth is a team on the decline,
yeah,
and to give up 4 to them, and the way they gave up those goals too were just so sloppy. It's like
Yeah.
off the game. You go up 4-3, like sit in. Like I watched a few videos on it, and like Ahmad is sprinting across the middle trying to win a ball. He doesn't need to do it, and it leaves him exposed. And more Calamity at the back to give that pass to Krupi, who just bangs it home. It's like just you even see Amarin. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really. Doesn't seem like he's like sometimes at this stage, a coach would have been able to initiate style of play or analyze who they have, what are the strengths, how do we play to those strengths, fortify things. I don't know. You
It,
sort of figure it out versus this. I'm gonna this Ange Postacoglu is like I'm gonna shoehorn you into my style, and we're just gonna ride that until it bucks us type deal.
yeah.
Like sit the fuck. And he was even telling them like no more goals, like no more goals, and like you need a leader who's a defender
Well,
in those
that's what I was
situations.
about to say. That's
You
what I
need
was
a center back who is just like a commands the room, commands the locker room, is a presence on the field, who can just hit everybody and yell at them and be like, just hold the ball, let's hold, and then and because Bruno is a leader, right?
saying.
But he's an offensive guy, so he's not. It's a different conversation on the field of getting people in order,
Yeah.
and that's a time when like if Harry Maguire was like that dude,
Yeah.
he could get them to just hunker down and kill off the game instead of Ahmad running across the field like a moron, leaving them exposed, fourth goal.
No,
And
it's some of it's just like their business doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, we're gonna go sign Sesko. We need more goals. Like, spend all that money on 3 defenders. Get 3. Like, they should be beating down the doors to get Senesi from Bournemouth. I don't even think Senesi is like necessarily that great. He's certainly way better than anything United had. I don't think they could actually get Gahey because I think he's going to go to City or Liverpool. But they should be trying to get Gahey. Like, any centered at central defender, they should be overspending by 20 million to get that guy to shore up their defense. Like a guy like a Gahey who could be like the centerpiece of a good defense. Senesi, maybe you shouldn't overpay for him, but like,
are I saw some list and it was like who's like upcoming like free agents, so to speak. And there's like Upamecano who plays for Bayern. Like there's a lot of guys out there that they should be, or they need to go like find some young guy in Italy. You know what I mean? Like find, but I completely agree with you. Like when they were at their peak, it was Rio Ferdinand
yeah,
and Vidic.
yeah,
You had two beasts next to each other
yeah,
who would tell any motherfucker on that field, you get over here, you do this, you do that, stop doing this, and like would command like a spine and a structure to kill off that game. And yeah,
I mean, look,
I don't know how you yeah exactly like you get Bumo, Cunha, Sesko.
yeah,
I think between the 3 of those guys, you've probably got 5 goals.
and
You know what I
close to
mean?
$300 million.
Yes.
Like, you could have bought, and like, I don't even know their goalie's name, but like, he's like, Onana flopped. This new guy is not. I mean, he gave up 4 goals to Bournemouth. Like, he's not standing on his head and like saving games for them. So like, just it
He did
doesn't make
make
any
2. I don't know if you
sense.
watched that game. The dude still made
Yeah,
2 crucial saves at the end of the game.
yeah,
They could have lost the
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
But it's just
his name
unbelievable.
was like Lemons or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lemons.
It's his name. It is. That is his name.
Um,
Yeah, but
yeah, they I mean, if I'm just you're playing football manager at home, you're like, all right, well, what do they need? Well, they probably need a Rodri like player holding mid
oh, they got
and
Casemiro.
guys as old as I am. Great, fantastic. I mean, he's an all-time,
Yeah,
great winner, champion across the board. But Father Time
yeah.
only do it for so long. Yet every team that's always crushed it has always had a Makalele. They've had
Well,
like a Caicedo type player or a Rodri or like if you look back on them in the past, they had like Roy Keane who was like a box to box killer. They had 2 center backs that hold it all together. And then you can piece together an attacking game that allows for free flowing attempts and doing stuff, knowing that your defense is going to hold down the fort if you turn over the ball.
I mean, look at the teams that have been on top of the Prem for the last well, 6 to 8 years. It's Arsenal, Liverpool, and City, right? Like Arsenal, Gabriel and Saliba. That like changed their when they got those two guys in and played it like changed their team. Virgil helped put Liverpool over the top, and we bang on Kanate. He stinks, but you got Virgil and you got Allison behind him, uh, and so like that's the spine there. Like City, they went from Company to Ruben, right? Ruben Diaz, and they just like continued to invest
Well,
in
then you
these
got Rodri in front of
and
him,
Rodri in front of
who,
him, and
if the center backs
Fernandinho.
aren't necessarily there, Rodri is covering so much that it helps with the center backs that might not be up to that level that they want. And then
Well,
behind that,
Fernandinho before that, right? And
right,
then
Fernandinho before that.
like Ederson, who's plays the way that Pep wanted, and now they got Donnarumma, who's been pretty good in goal for City. And like when Diaz first came over, he was awesome. Now he's kind of lost a step, which is why they're gonna apparently focus on Gahey. Like they know, like okay, we've got to have that spine on the defense. We have to just have someone commanding the middle. And United, like, oh, we're gonna throw money at Harry Maguire. We're gonna throw money at Matthias de Ligt, like the recruitment strategy. Oh, we're going to give money to Martinez, who's 4'3". Like, there's never been a center back in the Prem. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was like
Because when I
everyone
think
made
of
fun of
fucking
that for
center
so
backs,
long. Everyone like as soon as they signed him, everyone's like, "There's no way they did not just do that." Like, I mean, legitimately is 5'6". Like, you cannot be a center back in the Prem and like Holland, any ball in the air is going to win every single ball against that guy. He cannot be one of your two starting center back. It's just unbelievable.
that shit works in Holland,
Yeah,
but not in the Prem. You know
no,
what I
it
mean?
might even
Like,
work in Spain, but it's not going to work in the Prem.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Um, Speaking of United, the Mick Tom minute. I think relatively short one this week. Again, we're just banging pods out, so we don't have as much time for all these guys to score. But uh, maybe our second favorite Mick Tom minute participant, Marcus Rashford, on the score sheet again. The guy just can't stop scoring goals. And I don't understand. Barca's claiming they don't want him. He's too expensive. I don't buy that. I think he's going to end up there. He's scoring too many
He got
goals for
eight.
them.
He
He's
has
scoring
eight
too many
goals,
goals.
8 goals and 7 assists
He's
for
yeah.
them so far this season. He's one of their top producing players. There's no way in hell. I think it's just the press and like
I think they're
silliness that
posturing to
comes.
try to get him to take a pay cut.
Yeah, yeah. There's the Spanish clubs manipulate the press very, very hard to kind of get what they want, whether it's tapping up a player or leverage using it to like negotiate contracts or agreements with a club or a player or whatever. There's no way. Like the dude looks just on it. Like he looks back to like vintage form. He looks comfortable. I mean, he's obviously playing with a much better team with much
Yeah,
better players.
yeah.
So he doesn't have to get the ball at half field and run at three guys and do all these things. Like he sits out on that left flank. Jamal plays him just like world class balls, and he just runs onto him, bangs them home. It's like so straightforward, and it's great. I love it. I love when I look on the score sheet and I see Rashford scoring, getting assists. Like I don't know why, but it makes me happy because like
I
you know
think I think
players reach high highs. You don't want them. It sucks to watch them like just crumble. You're like, man, what the hell happened there? And in our Mecton minute, there's just a lot of joy because it's like these guys weren't doing it.
yeah.
But it just goes to show there's a system and a team might not fit or a coach. You go elsewhere, see that hope.
And by all accounts, he's a really good dude, like a really good guy. And to like
Yeah,
think it looked like last year, it looked like his international career was over. He was never gonna like he was part of the core of those England teams that kind of brought them back from like competing for titles and never actually won anything, but they were right there. So it seemed like this might be like that generation's last hurrah in the World Cup, or maybe they have one more Euro after this. But to get him back in that mix, I think is cool. Just it's like it's nice to see if that like team in that generation pays it off for a guy like Rashford to be involved in it.
No, absolutely. I mean, the press in England is also just unforgiving. Like
Yeah,
Ashford was like feeding like kids in need. Like he had like
exactly.
a whole like meal program for schools,
Yeah,
or it was something very similar to that. And he was like using his platform and his free time to like help kids out. And somehow that was deemed as like a negative.
yeah.
I was like, all right, sure. Like I guess you can want to just tear anybody down, then fine, go ahead. But the guy's not a bad dude that you're trying to portray him. And you know what? He might have gone out one or two times. He went to New York and went out. I mean, please,
But
like,
yeah, half the
eh,
city guys go to Dubai every time they get a break and go nuts or Ibiza. It's like, who cares? Let him like, he's not
exactly.
affecting his play. Yeah. Anyway, um, more on the United game, I guess, as we enter the U.S. men's national team corner of the podcast. Tyler Adams left the game, I think, in the first 5 minutes. A suspected MCL injury. I just looked before this. I haven't seen any reports on the severity or how long he's going to be out. We're just hoping beyond all hope that our captain will be back sooner rather than later. Also, I read when I was looking that up, much like Christian Pulisic, he's also now been linked to a January move to Manchester United. So just no,
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 don't do it.
no.
Please,
All
please,
this is a
don't.
public service announcement. All U.S. men's national team players, you have to avoid reverse McTomming. You have to avoid injuries for the next 6 months. Please, in 6 months, you can go to United. In 6 months, you can go to United. I don't like just give me this World Cup at home. Stay with your clubs where you have playing time, where you're playing well. Don't do this. Don't do this. Please. That's it.
To the agents out there, wait, wait. These
The
guys are
value
gonna
is
have
going
a
to
good.
go up.
These guys are gonna have a good World Cup,
Yeah,
right? They're gonna have a good World Cup, and you're gonna be able to sell them at
yeah,
a much higher level than you would right now. So don't don't do it.
yeah,
Take the call, punt the call.
yeah. Please,
Just but no matter what, there's better clubs out there than United. All right,
please.
we don't need to take that.
Yeah,
Don't.
please. Uh, the the other U.S. men's national team this week, in what has to like, it's either April Fool's joke or one of the biggest calamities I've ever seen. The U.S. men's national team unveiled a mascot this week. Uh, Banner the dog, who looks like he looks
you
deranged. This is just yeah. No,
you
I just
said it. You said it perfectly. What that dog looks like.
yeah.
What does it look like?
He looks like a deranged mascot from an amusement park that cousin Greg from Succession is hotboxing before walking around the amusement park.
Yeah, and
This
there's a faint smell of puke on the inside of the dog because he's thrown up on the inside
inside
of
the
it.
mascot. They're like, who, whoever came up with that, congratulations for completely ripping off the U.S. Like, is that what we're spending this World Cup ticket revenue on for the U.S.? We're paying some awful consulting firm to say this is your mascot. Like it's such a slam dunk for the mascot to be a sweet looking bald eagle.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty simple.
it's so easy. It's so easy. And instead you give us this. Like, how about you do what like LAFC have done with Ollie and have a bird that flies around before the games, like train an eagle. Maybe that's not safe and that could be a really bad idea. But like at least an eagle mascot, and you've got a dog named Banner. Also, like what are we doing? I just
Well, the dog also just looks like Scooby Doo's
yeah
like hick cousin,
yeah.
and
The eyes look weird. The eyes look like again. He looks deranged.
my first thought when I saw that I was like, did they go into a studio lot and go into the back and found like some discarded IP that just didn't make it to air? Like, what is that? Like, of all these consultancy groups, I think we should start one. I think one of our spin-offs of the Fantasy O Pod will be a consultancy because clearly there's a lot of money getting thrown around for very, very poor ideas. And I feel like it's the same group that consulted on the names of the live golf teams.
Oh yeah.
It's the same shit. We're like, wait a minute, you spent time and money and crushers is what you came up with? Fireballs. What you got?
The Niblets.
Banner.
The Niblets. Don't forget the Niblets. Their name was so bad, and they switched their name after one season.
Yeah, like wow. It's mind, but you want to assume that there's lots of smart people out there doing really really smart things, and then you see this kind of stuff, and it really makes you wonder, like, where are we headed as a society? Like Banner and this shitty
There had to
dog.
be,
Like,
if that's not AI, I'm praying for the sake of their pocketbooks and like maybe they didn't get ripped off. They just put something into Chat GPT and that's what it spit out. Because at least then they didn't waste money on it. But man, like I
oh,
guess
they did.
if they went
They
like
did.
that would be like what is the least offensive looking mascot and name that we can go for? And like they still didn't get the eyes right because it might be AI. That's what they would have spit out. Just very uninspiring.
Well, to overanalyze it, like,
Yeah,
why do you think they would go that route? Is it a merch play for kids where they're anticipating that the youth of America will be watching the World Cup? They'll see the dumb dog. They'll want to buy there's going to be a nag factor on the parents, then go out and purchase said dumb dog, have in the house. Like, what could possibly be?
yeah.
Why
Again,
does the World Cup need a mascot? By the way,
well,
why?
again, the men's
What the
national
what
team
the hell is the
does
point?
not need a mascot. We don't need a like. It's not like there's breaks in the action and the Philly Fanatic's going to run around on the dugout and dance. Like this dog's going to do
Yeah,
nothing. It's going to be outside the stadium for picture opportunities with kids that know like no self-respecting parent should let their kid take a picture with it.
no.
If we see it in LA, I hope your kids walk right past it. We're not stopping for a photo. Sorry, sorry, Graham and Seti. Like this is not it. And
Yeah,
if it's a merch play, it would be much cooler for like a stuffed animal perspective if it was a cool looking bald eagle, like an eagle with a jersey on it. I could get behind that. I'm not buying my kid another dog stuffed animal. It's not going to happen. If it's
no,
an
no
eagle,
way.
I might buy it and have one.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. So that's why it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It he also looks like he could be one of those Times Square kind of
Yes.
like guys too,
Yes.
or like Hollywood Boulevard,
Hollywood
fucking Iron
Boulevard.
Man and all. Yeah, he looks like some crackhead who's,
uh,
who's out there trying to get picture ops from people in
yeah.
Times Square. But yeah, like again, I have an Ollie. Both my kids have a
Yeah.
stuffed animal Ollie.
Yeah.
It's very cool, very different. And from yeah, if you're going the plushy route, which like all kids our age have like 72 of
Oh
these
yeah.
plushies, like
Yeah.
I'm trying to throw them out. Yeah, there's like a little jersey and there's a cool bald eagle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But this a generic,
No.
weird looking,
Yeah.
methed out dog, like
No.
just and also like it feels like an archaic, like it feels like it's tied to like a mascot for the World Cup. Why? Who cares? It feels like, are we giving out orange slices and Capri Suns as well during this World Cup? Like, no,
Well, there are
you don't need a
water breaks.
mascot.
There are going to be water breaks
I know
every
there's
time.
water breaks.
Yeah.
We don't need
We don't.
mascots.
Yeah,
This is
I don't need Banner running around SoFi like on the pitch during the. No, we don't need
no,
that. We don't need any of this.
no.
It's
This is this
unnecessary. It's dumb. It's a bad math. Like no, hire us.
move.
We can do your market. Yeah, just
It's weird. I don't know. It's weird. It's so unnecessary, and it's such a waste of time
and
across
money,
the board.
time and money. Yeah. Ah, man. That kind of leads us right into what grinds my gears because that mascot reveal really grinded my gears this week. One other thing that grinds my gears, and we talked about it, it is the inconsistency from the fantasy on like how long teams have for stat adjustments. So like sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. So this week it worked in my favor, but like Phil Foden ends the game. He's on 11 DefCons, and like 4 hours later, oh Opta found another one for him. Boom, he's got 12. I get 2 points. Great. If City had played the game in the Man U Bournemouth window, the week ends and there's no time for stat adjustments. So like if they had found the DEF CON like 6 hours after the game, for Foden, it wouldn't count the points. So I don't understand this like the game ends and then like any game that's played earlier in the week, you have the chance for adjustments to help you out. But if it's played later in the week, you're kind of shit out of luck. It's just so inconsistent. It's so stupid. Like I get that like things happen and like I don't know. It shouldn't be that hard for Opta is behind this. They got probably making a ton of money supplying the stats to the Prem. Um, they should be able to do this in real time and not have to like even the own goals and assist stuff. It's like, oh, should Saka's first one been an assist? Like, let's just make it easy. The guy caught like he hit the ball. Whoever it was intended for, I don't give a shit. He hit it. It hit another player. It went in. That's an assist for an own goal, right? Like it does. It shouldn't matter if he was trying to get it to the guy that got in the way of it or not. Like if you're the last person who touches it before an own goal for the other team, barring like the other team passing it back and forth 5 times and kicking it into their own net, like it should just be an assist. It's simple. Um, that grinds my gears. The stat adjustments grind my gears. Like even Saka, like they made an assist, then they took it away during the game, and then 2 hours later they gave it back to him. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be this hard. And a lot of it, I think, is just like what happens is like you get the FPL Twitter army going nuts and like tweeting at the Premier League, and then they look at certain things and not others because Saka's a highly owned player who a lot of people captained, so like we should look at this one more closely and award it. Like it just
It
seems
feels very nebulous.
too
There's no
arbitrary.
consistency
Just
across those
yeah,
things. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
make it
I've
easy.
never what this all started with like in the last like 2 years, I would
Yeah,
say, these adjustments to where all of a sudden somebody wasn't in the bonus when the
yeah,
game ended. And then a day later, that person was then in the bonus. You're like, well, what the hell changed that
no,
they're all of a sudden in the bonus now? Like FCON, at least it's tied to a metric, like, and that metric triggers points. Like that seems.
but it shouldn't.
I still don't understand like why like whatever's tracking.
Well,
Like,
that's my point.
are they going back? Is every game analyzed this closely?
I mean, I
And they
guess, but so
like, does somebody go from 4 DEF CONs to 5 based on review? I don't know. I
don't
feel like
never
it's
pay
always
attention like
whoever's
that.
on the bubble
It's the
gets
bubble.
like
Yeah,
added looks.
yeah, for sure. And like what I think should happen, the most fair thing to do is that like anytime a game ends, there's 2 hours. Within those 2 hours, like everything should be set. The bonus should be finalized, DEF CON should be finalized, goals and assists should be awarded or not. And then once that 2 hours is up, that's it for that. That game's locked. I don't give a
We're
shit
done.
what the Premier League goal thing says after, or what Opta says after that point. Everyone has 2 hours that they went back. If you're the last game of the game week or the first 2 hours after the last game, that's when that game locks, so that's when the points lock for the week, and you shouldn't be able to go back and adjust. It's dumb for it to be arbitrary, and it's dumb for like the timing of your game and the game week to matter.
Yeah.
And then the other
Yeah.
thing that grinds my gears, and then you're going to go into what grinds your gears, but what grinds my gears is that the fantasy tech is so archaic that we can't just allow lineup adjustments until the game kicks off. So one of your grinding my gears is like, oh, who's injured and who's not? Well, if you just waited and let people adjust their lineup, and fine, maybe you have to mark your captain before his game kicks off and your vice captain before the week starts. I'm fine with that. Make those things
Yeah.
locked.
That makes sense. Like captain is locked,
Yeah,
but there's variation based
yeah,
on the
and
schedule.
like captain's locked, and vice captain's locked. So I can still bench my captain, but then I just have to rely on my vice captain. So like if I captain Holland and then Pep puts the lineup out and Holland's not playing, I should be able to take Holland out, and then my vice captain should be able to become my captain, and then someone else should be able to play for Holland. Like again, it's one of those things where like there's a information gap that like some people get inside information and they get leaks on who's in the lineup and some people don't, and like I get some of like what they're trying to do is make it so that the people who play the game in India and Australia, like that where the time difference is crazy, from England, Like some of the games are in the middle of the night, so they shouldn't have to wait up to see who should be on their team or not. But it's like, oh man, it's so frustrating because no one's honest about injuries, and like these, it shouldn't matter that I guessed who was gonna like me guessing who's gonna play for City shouldn't be a skill. That shouldn't like make me a better fantasy player than somebody else. It should be like, okay, I thought this person was gonna have a good week. They're starting. They're in my team. Like the roster stuff, just who started.
But
It
there are
grinds my
so many leaks. Like if you in the modern era, if you are based in England, right? Like you can watch like on a 4:30 a.m. fixture, right? The
yeah,
deadline is 2 hours prior to that.
yeah,
You're up, you're awake, you're doing your whole morning, and you can see updated information
yeah,
that makes you change what you're gonna do.
yeah,
You can know if whatever Holland isn't gonna play for whatever reason. Like those leaks are out there. There are leakers that are out there leaking information all the time. So unless you stay up until like 2:30 in the morning like a
yeah,
psychopath, like you go to bed like a normal person, and then you're hoping that nothing happens in that meantime. And then you wake up and it's like, oh yeah, this person was flagged as injured or not seen on the bus going to the
right,
game that morning. And so everybody then transfers that person out. And you're like, well, we're at a complete disadvantage here.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like that's just it's bullshit.
Yeah, when I was 22 and coming home from the bar at 2 a.m., like I could be up at 2:30. it's not,
Yeah.
it's not happening anymore, and it's not happening for most people. Like, and then even the difference between West Coast and East Coast. Like East Coast, it's 5:30, 6 a.m. I could wake up at 5:30 a.m. Quickly check my phone. Oh, who's starting? Who's not? Or what's the information? All right, I made whatever change I need to make, close it, pass back out for an hour before my kids come and wake me up. But like the 4:30, like 3 o'clock, 2:30, it's like, what are we doing here? And again, it's not it shouldn't be a skill that like I got extra information. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost like
the game isn't predicated on insider info.
no,
Is your leg up on the rest of the world? It's like it's a game.
yeah,
We all play the game. We
yeah.
should be able to make decisions based on yeah, it's an aspect of the game that's bullshit. You
There
know?
shouldn't be information asymmetry, right? Like
Yes.
everyone should be able to know the same things going into the game as everybody else.
Right.
And because lineups get released like an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff, every like if you let people just sub people in and out, you can even lock transfers for me. That's why we have a bench. Like you could say, okay, no transfers after this amount of time. No changing your captain after this time. So I can go to bed, I can make my transfers, I can set my captain, and then I can wake up and I can see, oh, Holland's not playing. Oh, Salah's not playing. I'm going to take him out. And someone from my bench can play. And someone from my vice captain would be my captain. And like to know, like this week I started Senesi. I was like, oh, he's yellow. I'm just going to start him. Hopefully he plays. He ended up playing. It worked out for me. Like to your point, like you could have known whether or not Saliba was playing before the game started and before the game kicked off. You could have brought like he could have been on your team or not been on your team, but you
Yeah,
didn't know. You thought he wasn't playing, so it's like, oh, I got to make a transfer.
yeah, I
It,
gotta go to bed, and
yeah,
that exactly. It's
information asymmetry shouldn't be why someone does better than someone else. It just
to your
it has
point. You made some good, very very good um like, aspects to it that make it yeah, captain locked, right? Captain and vice captain locked. No new transfers, but you can shift around based on your bench,
yeah
right? Like that. That seems very fair, right?
yeah
And that makes you want to have like the most depth to your lineup,
right
and that creates much more skill
yeah
of like I have a team based, and so if these variables happen, I can make those changes
yeah
last minute.
right
But yeah, like to your point, and which segues into my
yeah
grinds my gears is coaches who are coy on their availability of players. Like Arteta is the overlord and
yeah.
master of this.
He learned
And I
from
mean
Pep.
Pep too, but like Arteta gets a kick out of like nobody
That's
knows
true.
any player that's flagged on Arsenal, nobody has a clue whether or not they're gonna play or not. So what pisses me off about that is who cares? Like nobody is changing the way they play Arsenal because Saliba is injured or Trossard is injured or playing or like name any other person on their roster. Like even like Saka. No one's changing the way they play the goddamn game for Saka. He's out there, he trots around, he cuts it on his left, and he whips it across. Like that's just what the guy does. If you can't defend it, that's on you.
I mean,
Arteta will not say he's just like, oh, we'll see. Oh, we'll see. Oh, we'll see. Oh, we'll see. It's like,
here's
why?
Here's the other thing. Okay, maybe you would change how you play. There's none of these managers are going into the game with one game plan. They're gonna play like, okay, if this is how Arsenal lines up, this is how we're gonna play. If this is how Arsenal lines up, we're gonna play a different way. So that when Arsenal releases their team sheet over an hour before the game starts, the manager talks to the players and says, okay, this is how they're lining up. This is what we're going to do. This is what we worked on in practice. No one's working on one thing only. They're working on multiple ways to attack Arsenal based on how Arsenal might set up or change. And so they've done the scouting. So like even if you are coy and you'd be like, ooh, I don't know if he's gonna play or not, I don't know. You've released the team sheet an hour before, and Wolves can already respond to it and like make the changes that they need to make. They've already like, it's so dumb.
There's like 4 guys in the world that if you knew they were playing or not, it like changes the dynamic. Like if Holland is out, okay, wow, okay, Holland's out. If Mbappe's out, if Amin Yamal is out, like there's okay, we can make some adjust. There's nobody on Arsenal's fucking roster that would make anybody play any different than they normally would. There just isn't.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny to me how you watch art because like had Saliba for like 4 blanks in a row, zeros, and then all of a sudden he's still like, oh, he hasn't practiced, he hasn't done this, and it's like, well, they're playing Wolves, like that's like a shutout worthy game. I got all these free transfers. Like I got to do something, and so because of that, I'm very pissed off just because of how everything netted out.
Yeah.
I was gonna do Rodgers. I was gonna go from Bumo to Rodgers. And I was like, well, I mean, if Saliba's out, I don't want a blank there. I don't want somebody else. So I ended up going Virgil, which got a shutout, which is fine. But then it made me go like, well, I should probably have 3 people for this Arsenal Wolves game. Under the assumption that they'd actually show up and dominate, which they didn't. So I get Eze. He goes for 58 minutes and gets subbed off, does nothing.
Yeah.
Then I watch Rodgers later that day go for 2, and I'm just like.
And I went, we had talked about him. Marino had been playing the 9. He had been marking. All of a sudden, he like gets dropped from the team entirely for Gyökeres, who stinks. He didn't even do anything. And then when Marino does come on, he's now back in the midfield. Like, I'm out. He's off my team. He's off my team already. That was a 1 week. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. If you're not, he was on my team because he's cheap. He's playing the 9 and he had minutes. And all of a sudden, now he doesn't have minutes and he's not playing the 9. So I'm sure he will be back playing the 9 and probably score this week now that I dropped him.
Yeah, it's probably what's gonna happen. Like the same thing. I'm looking at Eze now. It's just like a dead body. It's the dead body on my roster. I'm like, oh, you got to go. You just I don't know. I'm so.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for today's games to happen that I could like just have a full understanding of like who's healthy, who's not, whatever. But yeah, you got Everton away. You literally did 0.03 expected assists.
Yeah.
Played 56 minutes. I was like, you son of a bitch. How do you the only thing he's done, he did a fucking hat trick against Tottenham. Like, yeah, okay. He's a spite. So let's look at this just real quick. Humor me. So Eze this season had a couple of assists to start the year. Assists 3. He had assists against City, assist against Forest in game weeks 4 and 5, assist against West Ham. He does nothing. Then he goes spite goal against Crystal Palace. Then nothing against Burnley and Sunderland. 71, 87 minutes. Then he goes double spite move, hat trick against Tottenham, and then has done dick since. So this guy has only really done something against the team he left and the team he ditched last minute. Son of a bitch.
Oh,
grinds my gears. Eze.
Yeah,
Eze grinds
spite,
my gears.
spite squid.
Ah,
Well, welcome to
damn it.
that segment. Like I said, we're looking for a sponsor. We'll be look, lots of stuff grinds our gears, as I'm sure you can tell. So that is going to be a recurring segment. Before we wrap up, prediction time. Prediction time. Looking at the games this week, I've got an interesting prediction that kind of goes against everything that I ever talk about. Um,
I can't wait for this.
yeah, my they are they're related. Um, I'm gonna take again. I like the tie no bets. I'm gonna take Man United to beat Aston Villa. They are plus 135, and I'm gonna hop on the Bruno to score a goal at plus 340. Um, so yeah, and I, look. I've fought against Bruno all year. Like I said, I already brought him in my team. Uh, I actually, I've been talking about how on fire Villa are. I just, I, I'm not buying it completely, and I kind of feel like United again when like they have a bad result, they always seem to come back with like a good performance. They, yeah, so that's it. It's on the road, so that's probably why they're plus money. But that's what I'm going with. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I mean it's a very winnable game
Yeah. Yeah, and
for
if they're gonna
United.
win, Bruno's gonna like. I feel like he probably has to score, especially Bumo. I think is gone at Afcon starting now, so he's gonna have to be on the score sheet if they're gonna win. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's my predictions for this week.
I'm gonna go. My prediction is I am thinking Everton is gonna get. I don't know if they're gonna beat them or they're gonna take points off Arsenal, but Everton at home
So
against Arsenal.
the draw is plus 285, and then if you do tie no bet to Everton, it's plus 320. So if they tie, you would get nothing. If they win, you'd get 3.2 to 1 odds.
As I look at the games, Newcastle Chelsea, that could go either way.
Yeah,
You never know, you don't know what Newcastle's going to show up. You don't know what Chelsea's going to show up.
yeah.
I mean, City, all accounts, should just
City are minus
brush
eight.
aside.
They're minus 1800. So you have to bet
Yeah.
$18 to win one.
Yeah. Spurs, Liverpool. I mean, we suck at home, so I could see Liverpool
Yeah.
beating us 3-dick at home, and then Thomas Frank getting fired right afterwards. That's a good prop bet. A loss, and a
Lost and
firing.
fired. And
1-2.
Liverpool are favored in that game. The one that was interesting to me, and if it was not being played where it's being played, it would be the one that I would be all over. Brighton Sunderland. Sunderland are plus 285 in tie no bet, but it's on the road, and they're like a very different team home and away. So I don't
Yeah.
I don't love that because they're away.
I'm gonna stick with the wins. I think
Everton.
Everton are
Okay.
going. They've had a. I mean, where's Everton in the league? I feel like they're not as
They're
bad
like
as like.
I think they're like 12th or 13th. They're like dead middle, like in that middle block. Let me
Oh,
see.
are they really? I thought for some reason I
They're
thought they
they're
were
nine. They're
higher.
ninth. They're only 2 points behind Palace. Like they're on 26, 24 points, and then Sunderland, Pool, United, and Palace are all on 26. So
Oh yeah, so
if
they're
Everton
right.
win, they could be up into fifth place hypothetically. I mean, depending on what else
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. I think. I mean, look, Arsenal are not lighting the world afire.
Mm-mm.
I could see Everton.
Yeah,
I can see Everton getting a result there. I mean, they
yeah,
lost to Chelsea away. They beat Forest at home 3-0. They beat Bournemouth away. They lost to Newcastle, beat United, beat Fulham.
yeah. So they're
Yeah, I don't know. I can see them. I can see them winning. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going Everton
All
beating
right, they're
Arsenal.
like I said, they're plus 320 tie no bet. So if you parlay Everton and United at their tie no bets, you get 9 to 1 on that too. So this could be the week that everything comes together. Do you have a goal scorer for me this week?
Yeah, Ekitike again.
Again. All right, let's see. Let's see.
A shitty Tottenham team, like that dude is gonna come in, and I see him. I mean, if I were betting, I would do
115. I like it. I like
I
it.
could do Ekitike, Holland,
Holland's minus
Ekitike.
200 to score a goal.
If you can you parlay on DraftKings?
You can, yeah. Yeah. Holland is
Okay.
minus 260 anytime score.
Look, Man United's team sucks too, so I would even like explore Ollie Watkins of all people, like
Okay. So
because
if
I
you,
like he's probably got to get a decent number on him just because of how he hasn't been that great.
yeah, he is. He's only plus 155, um, but that's not terrible. So if you, let's see, let me.
I see Ekitike scoring. I see Holland scoring.
All right. So if you parlay your three guys, you get 6.5 to 1. If you add in my Bruno, a parlay is 30 to 1. So if you get Bruno, Ollie, Holland, and Ekatike, it's 30 to 1. Um, so that I'll probably throw like $2 or 250 on that one just because it's not a lot of money and it's a partial unit and we can get some stuff done. I am going to back Ekatike this week for sure, and I'm going to back Everton draw a tie no bet. So um, we will see how we do this week. Uh, Anything else, Senor Schwartz?
No, no. Newcastle just knocked Fulham out of the Carabao Cup,
Ah,
2-1. Tonali cross to Lewis Miley
yeah,
goal. Hopefully, Newcastle just ran Wilson's legs out, and he won't be able to play this weekend.
yeah, he's gonna play.
For
He's gonna score like 20 points.
Let's see, who does Fulham play? Fulham
Someone not
play
good.
Nottingham Forest. You know what? That you start the season, that was a pushover. You had Ange,
Yeah,
Nottingham
they
Forest
won.
under Sean Dyche. Which actually, last thing I'll say, people are always like, "Oh, a coach needs more time. Needs more time." Guess what? Sean Dyche came in from. He was a former Burnley coach. This guy's got no sort of like cachet about him at all. The guy has come in and he has turned around Nottingham Forest
Yeah,
so quickly, getting results in Europe, getting results in the Prem, and so I don't want to hear this like other coaches be like, oh, I need more time. I need more time. No, look what you have. Make adjustments. Sean Dyche, a guy that doesn't get any plaudits of like from the managerial ranks, has come in, took a team, sorted them out, and has figured out how to get results. Like good for him. So that
absolutely.
that Fulham game on paper, I think even the fantasy probably lists that as like one of those ones you should go after. But I don't see that game being that way in the Sean Dyche era.
No, yeah, I still think Forest haven't been like the best. Even under Dyche, they've gotten better. I still think it does take. If their defense has immediately improved, I think it will be like even better than it has been in 4 weeks, right? Like once they've like really had time to go full Deitch in their system. Um, so I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, you should definitely make a move for a Fulham player, but I don't think it's a bad move if you chase Harry Wilson. I might chase Harry Wilson. We'll see. Mainly because I feel like Mids is just on fire, and I just can't stand his guys scoring all the time, and I get none of it. So
Yeah, but if you pick the same guy,
yeah, you got to find other differences. Yeah, yeah, you find other differences. Chelsea can't keep
differential.
Chelsea can't keep up all these clean sheets. I've got my extra chips. I'm gonna pick away at the Ginger King right now.
I just got to figure out who I want to kick Eze out for. Who's coming in? Who? What can we do? All right. Well,
Turkey, not a bad pick. They got West
got
Ham. They got
some
West Ham.
decent games. I mean, you wake up to the Chelsea. So like the good thing about the Chelsea Newcastle 4:30, you're waking up Saturday knowing whether or not there's a double shutout from Chelsea or not. So it's just a
And
you're starting the day like
look,
just riding high or like, damn it, it happened again.
Anthony Gordon,
Um,
he's gonna do it for me. He didn't do it last week. He disappointed. They took him off after 58 minutes. That just right in my gut from Eddie Howe. But Gordon's gonna come through. He's gonna stick it in Mince's double Chelsea defense and score a goal for me.
that is the ultimate.
Yeah,
That's the dream right there. When your player kills another player's shutouts, like
especially a
that's
double clean sheet. It'll be
yeah.
yeah. I'll have to send a GIF of the Ginger Prince knee sliding uh, to
And he
that.
didn't start this game. He subbed on late,
That's
so his
good.
legs he'll be fresh coming
That's
in.
good. Yeah, we need that. We needed that. All right. Well, thank you all 5 million of you for tuning in to us live. I notice we don't have many subscribers, so please like, comment, subscribe down below.
I'm gonna put this, and here's what I think we need to start doing. We need to create snackable content that we push out over shorts,
Mm,
YouTube shorts, and then for X as well. So
okay.
that and we can do. I used to do this back in the day. We do traffic drivers saying, "Hey, everybody on X." We start commenting on a bunch of these other people's things. People get wind of us from that, then start posting when we're going to go live. And we do snackable content outside of it, which can be a little way to get people to get them acquainted with our different segments.
Yeah.
It's Crunch of the Week segment, it's Grinds the Gears segment, it's Mick Tom Minute,
Yeah.
and then it drives everybody to the
Yeah.
the main videos. That's how we're gonna do our it's our 2026 initiative. We've been working through the kinks. We've been
Yeah.
finding the formats. I think we're pretty set on what we've got now. We've got a good rhythm around it. Now we're going to get very prescriptive of the distribution.
Yeah. We got some good rants, some good banter. So now we can package it into, like you said, consumable content. You don't have to tune in live for an hour and a half. We can give you 30-second, 45-second sound bites on your favorite social media platforms. We might need
Exactly.
someone younger to do TikTok for us. We'll see.
Yes, I don't have that, and I will never get it.
I also
So
don't
we're
have
gonna
it.
we're gonna have some people send me links, and I'm like, I can't open it. The dumb platform won't let me view it.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Schwartz.
alrighty.
If we don't talk before, I'm sure we will. But have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and I will talk to you soon, big guy.
Yep, sounds good, buddy. Happy holidays.
Peace.